This is the final one. I need you to be driven. I need to be driven. Because somebody said they were bored, and I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. You're bored. I'm feeling you. I got a 3.5 after I got kicked out of college when I came back 3 years later. And people say, how did you get a 3.5? I got a 3.5 when I came back to college after getting kicked out because I had my first child. And when I came back to school, I wasn't going to school for school. I was going to school for my boy. My granddaddy was a high school dropout, my daddy, and I was a high school dropout. And I figured if I at least graduated from college, that he would have to graduate from high school. I would be an example. So when I came back with a vengeance. I was driven by a purpose. I'm telling you, you'll never be what you're supposed to be. You'll never have what you're supposed to have. You'll never ball out until you got a purpose for why you do what you do. The people who blew up, they blew up because there was something that was going wrong in their life, and they took that pain and they turned that pain into something. You will never ever go to class, and you guys are spoiled. Do you know what it's like to go to class in Michigan in December? It's 10 inches of snow and they don't close the school, and it's minus 10 degrees and you still got to go up and go to class? How do you go to class when it's 10 degrees and 12 inches of snow? You know how you do it? Because you know your mama broke and she working 2 jobs and taking on a loan for you to go to school. I laugh at kids whose parents are broke and they up there partying like everybody else. Your mama broke. You went to school. Listen to me. Some kids, when they go to school, they just going to school to keep the legacy alive. Their mama already got money. Some of us, we taking out loans to help we taking out loans and sending it home so people could pay rent. That money ain't even going to college. And we still going to parties. We still clubbing. Listen to me, nothing against fraternities, but I've had students. One dude had a 3.2 GPA and got in a fraternity his freshman year, and it went down to like a 1-something. I'm saying, what kind of brotherhood is that? When you got my man up at 2 o'clock in the morning washing your car and going to get you groceries when you should be helping this kid to study. Now he can't get into college of business, but he got Greek letters. He didn't come to school to get Greek letters. That's a bonus. He came to school to get a degree, because if you walk out of here without a degree, you came up short. So you got to be driven. I'm driven, y'all. I get up every Monday and do TGIM. I drive home, get back to the airport, hour and a half drive, back and forth almost every single day, because I'm driven. I want my son to have a better life than I had. I don't want my son begging like I had to beg. I don't want my son to ever think he got to sell dope or he got to steal from the mall. I'm driven. I want my daughter to know what it's like to have. I'm driven. When I was at the Michael Jordan Classic the other day and I opened up that whole conference, people like, E, you speaking at the Michael Jordan Classic. How do you feel, bro? You made it. I said, I'm hungrier than I've ever been before. Now I want to speak to the Pistons, the Knicks, the Boston Celtics. I'm driven now. I'm hungrier than I've ever been before. Why? Because I tasted it now. I tasted it. I messed up. In my book bag, I got the first check I ever got from Nike. I used to buy Nikes. Now I got a check with my name on it. I ain't even put it in the bank because I want you to see it. I'm driven. When I got that first check from Nike, I was like, ooh, I'm on the payroll. That means I can get another check. And the next check I got was double that check. I'm driven. What drives you? Because you ain't going to go to class just to go to class to hear somebody teach. You got to go to class with a purpose and say, I don't care if he's boring or not. I got to get through him, and I got to get through that class, and I got to get through that boring stuff so I can get to where I'm trying to get to. If it takes a boring biology class, then I'm taking biology. If I got to go through calculus to make my family get to a level they've never been through, calculus, watch your back. Because your boy is coming. PhD is hard, bro, but I'm about to finish up. I got one little part left. I'm about to finish up. Why? Because I want it as bad as I want to breathe. You got to be driven. What are you driven by? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a PhD at 26, and he was willing to give his life. Why? Because he cared more about the freedom of women and the freedom of minorities than he cared about anything else. Listen to me, he had a PhD at 26. He had a job. He didn't have to get involved in the struggle, but he was willing to make that sacrifice. And he said it. He said it in his speech. Longevity
has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
The cannon. music at its very best.
Trying to rise, man. Yeah, that's fact.
Shout to the homie Thanks Wonder on the track. Shout to the homie Murs.
Trying to rise,
Shout to
man.
D1. It's nothing like it.
I know it's difficult, but you know the odds really are in our favor, man. Pay attention. Things just ain't the same for gangsters. The whole world's changed, everybody's a stranger. These young dudes running around saying they bangers. Put the low bangers, the click and bang you. And I done seen too many teens chasing a dream. End up bloodstream contaminated and fiending. And now they leaning on words that he said or she said, we said. Look at him, he dead. See, we ain't never know Martin Luther the King. Most of us probably couldn't tell you much about his dream. We like Malcolm X, cause Spike made the movie. And we saw him strapped up with the AKs and Uzis. So excuse me, you tryna connect ya. A whole generation is raised by gangsters who probably never knew Pops. We had Tupac and old boombox chillin' in our tube socks. And plus Dre taught us how to roll a 64. And Snoop Dogg taught us how to roll a sticky dro. So if they wanna reach us with Jesus, they gotta do better than some screaming preachers, yeah. Cause homie, we don't believe ya. We seen grandmas ride bodies, cold knees with heaters. So we skeptical. It's easier to believe that there's a heaven for a thug than to mess with you. It's hard to rise.
Listen to the melody. Because to me,
Hey, shout out the Ninth Wonder. No, you ain't gotta ask. We both on the same page like a paragraph. And all music ain't the target of discussion, but it seems the radio has got a problem playing substance. Listen, partner, they lying to us. They selling pies to us. They teach us how to be gangbangers and nine shooters. I've been where you been, seen what you seen. Grew up with old dog, look at me on the screen. When Nas was street dreaming, Biggie was still breathing, and Cash ruled everything around me, creaming. Folks trying to make the good life the good life, while they in the burbs wishing us a good night. And some rappers teach us how to chin check them, but I still ain't heard a song about being movie directors. We in your hood, man, we been where you been. Been stabbed, been shot, been in the pen. Difference is now when we pick up the pen, we articulate how God has made us all better men. I'm a college graduate, here's some God-fearing role models, with daughters who do not aspire to be pole models. You are not what the media impose on you. God made you and he rose for you, so you rise.
But together, because listen to the melody. Because
Look. My name's Johnny. This ain't a Sunday thing, or once in a while thing. Maybe if my emotions get high enough things. Everyday thing, yeah. Everyday thing, God don't owe me anything, I owe him everything. They tried to put him in a box like a wedding ring. He came out, oh dear, no venison. I send a disease, Jesus is still the medicine. That's why these bars hard to explain, so I calculate my rhymes sorta like a chess game. I'm trying to balance all my art and theology, so when it comes out of me, I represent it properly. 3 persons, 1 God, no apostrophe S's. Progressing with caution, slow talking, quick to listen. With sick precision, Jesus takes my vision. Man, I don't care if you Christian, you acting with the spitting. I ain't writing you no mediocre past pimping. This is art that don't have a religion. They try to pigeonhole me, say I'm too holy to show face. I don't come around cause y'all just wanna see my own ways. I'm on the new path, I'm chucking up the peace sign. They throw a deck without the index, what could I expect? Take my master, then they gon' hate me too. Wish death upon me while I'm just praying for you. And we walk it out, we getting it. Ain't no days off, man, we living it every day. Yo, it's a everyday thing, everyday thing, yeah. We walk it out, we getting it. Ain't no days off, man, we living it every day.